Welcome back to another N-Cut movie review. Today we have Ferrari. Is this the greatest biographical film ever made? Or is Adam Driver just playing another Italian just like House of Gucci? Let's jump into this review and find out. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
The film is a biographical sports drama, and it is based around Enzo Ferrari and the Ferrari company trying to win the Mille Miglia in 1957. And Enzo and his company are facing financial hardship due to the fact that they've not won the Mille Miglia before, and they're not selling many cars. And it's essentially a look at his life, both personal and business-wise, and how he was able to come through at a time like this where the company was pretty much going to go bust. And Adam Driver in this is essentially Maurizio Gucci, except it's Maurizio Ferrari. But I mean, he's good at doing this role. He's so great at it. I mean, he's a perfect, smug, somewhat standoffish, cold-hearted millionaire, billionaire mogul, and he plays the role really well, and he does a great Italian accent, and he looks Italian. So, I mean, keep doing it. I can see why he was hired for this role.
And so was Penelope Cruz. The way she was able to convey so much emotion on screen is just phenomenal to see. In a particular scene, she stares off into the distance, and like a 1,000-yard stare, like a Kubrick stare, and is able to tell you the entire story, whatever's going through her head, instantly on that screen. And to me, that is just what acting should be about. And for me to be reintroduced to her through this film was something that I was so happy to go and watch and just experience what she could bring to the screen. And especially being by the side of Adam Driver, who's just commands the screen when he's on it. He's phenomenal. He's the it man so far. And as Geordie said, he's just one of the best actors here at the moment for an Italian. Just in general, in my opinion, but for the Italian especially.
And acting as like a crazy Italian sort of looked like it came naturally to her, I felt like. I mean, the first time you see her in this, she's like disheveled, and you don't even have any sort of reasoning, unless you know Enzo Ferrari's history or who he is, why she looks like this. It's just, first time you see her on the screen, disheveled. A big plot point in this film is the fact that Dino Ferrari, Enzo and Laura's son, died from muscular dystrophy, and it pretty much delves into the despair, I guess, that they went through as a couple and the different ways that they dealt with it. Enzo threw himself into work, and essentially just everything that the Ferrari brand was and is, he threw himself in to forget about the sadness of losing his son. And Penelope Cruz's character, Laura, essentially delved into just grief and despair and locked herself away while Enzo found a mistress, a new family, a new wife, a new kid, and she was locked in and had to deal with the grief on her own. And you see that play out on the screen in this movie incredibly. I mean, she deserves some sort of an award for supporting actress in this film, the way that she was able to portray despair, grieving over the loss of someone so important in their life. Her ability to steal every single scene that she did in this movie was unbelievable. And it's seriously, when she walks on screen, it's silent in this movie because she just... all the air goes out of the room with how she acts and how she's able to scold Enzo Ferrari in this movie. It's really unbelievable.
And Geordie's right. If she does not get a goddamn award, something is wrong with the Academy. But I'd just like to move on and talk about the director, Michael Mann. The way that he was able to convey the emotion and the storytelling of both characters was kind of brilliant. It was kind of brilliant. He was able to build the characters up from the base in a very short segment, so you're not wasting your time when you're in this film. And you're allowed to also fall in love with them because of the real life scenarios that they bring on screen. And that kind of allows the movie to be fast tracked. Otherwise, you just fall asleep because you'd be telling a massive story for 4 hours for no reason. But the one thing that I found super interesting with this character development point is that the conclusion of the movie, the characters don't seem to get it. It's just us that gets the full picture, and the characters seem to just be able to live and stew in that moment and in their decisions, but we seem to get the final conclusion. So it's good for us, but for the characters and the individuals themselves, they never seem to attain to that, which I just found super interesting. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but I found that like an intricate point.
Some of the things that didn't work in this film were the pacing of the plot. It was a little bit weak and thin in some areas, like the writing was a little bit weak, but the good acting of especially Penelope Cruz and Adam Driver was enough to sort of keep you involved and keep you focused on the film. And a big part of this film is the final race of the Mille Miglia, and that alone is enough. I mean, watching cars go fast and drive really fast like that is enough to keep you on the edge of your seat.
And specifically to the race, yes, it was an absolutely intense race, but the CGI was just dreadful.
There was two specific scenes that we referred to here that just will leave you, I guess, shocked for at least. There's one that will leave you shocked for the rest of the movie just about, but there's also one at the beginning of the film, completely left of center, that just comes and you're just like, oh, okay, well that was not what I was expecting from a movie like this. this. So it's things like that, I guess, that keep you involved in this movie. But yeah, if we're going to nitpick a lot of things, the plot was a little bit thin. Another thing that didn't work in this film were some of the accents of the characters. Shailene Woodley's accent for an Italian. Now, we tried to search up if she was really an Italian. The character, Lena Lardi, who was Enzo Ferrari's mistress, we tried to search up if she was really Italian or not, but if she was, Shailene Woodley's accent was absolutely dreadful. Every second word, third word was just straight out American.
You'd expect her to be Italian because of the name, but you don't know if she's got heritage in America just because of the accent. We were so thrown off by it.
And Enzo's literally like wiped her clean from all facets of media and internet that we couldn't even find out that if she existed or not. But if she was Italian, which with the name Lena Lardi, I mean, she probably is Italian, that was one of the worst Italian accents I've ever heard. At some points, it didn't even seem like she was trying. You would hear Adam Driver come in with this clean-as accent, and then she was just like, not even there with the accent.
We were sitting in the theater thinking, surely this can't be real, or we're hearing something different, just because how shit prep work she did to line up Lena Lardi. But in saying that, there's not a lot on her, so I don't exactly know. I don't know what she can even base her character off, to be fair. But definitely that accent needs improving on before she goes and does a biopic at this magnitude.
And it's probably a bit hard for her. I mean, she's standing side by side with a great actor, dramatic actor like Adam Driver, and a legend of cinema and Penelope Cruz. So yeah, it probably stood out a little bit more than what it usually would say if she was with alongside other actors and actresses, but it stood out. And the same can be said for, look, I love Patrick Dempsey. He's a great actor. He's been in some great stuff, but his accent was also terrible. I think his American accent is so strong that he physically could not mask it with an Italian accent. And I know there's been some criticism of the movie for not getting Italian actors, and you can kind of see why when you have things like this where a basic Italian accent can't be done by the actors playing the characters based on real people. So
just to wrap this review up, the rating for this I'm going to give is probably a 65-70%. I really enjoyed the acting. Like, I can't speak highly enough of how good Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz played off each other and the emotion that they brought to screen. And having Michael Mann as the director who's done so many good films just allowed them to also further that.
My final rating for this film would be around about a 70-75%. I thought for a biographical movie, it did its job in telling a story that was mostly correct and mostly true to the source material. It was a bit slow in some parts, but it was able to keep you interested most of the time with great acting from Penelope Cruz and Adam Driver. Pretty cool action scenes with the Milli with the race. Some interesting scenes that sort of keep you shocked and sort of come out of left field and surprise you and come out of nowhere. Beautiful cinematography when the Milli is happening of the Italian countryside. So, it's a good film. You'd watch it once and be interested, and it does enough, but you'd probably never watch it again. And I guess that's all autobiographies, I guess.
That's exactly right, because if you've watched this, you'll probably watch House of Gucci at the same time.
Yeah, you could literally just call this Ferrari House of Gucci one-on-one.
Collaboration, duality. It's great.
Adam Driver just walked from one set to the other.
Anyway, guys, it's been another NCART movie review.
Let us know in the comments if you found Penelope Cruz and Adam Driver's acting to be as good as we did, and if you thought that their relationship and marriage dynamic was as captivating as we found it.
Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, sub, and drop that comment. Let us know. Peace, we out.
Peace.
And cut.